All right, here we go. Chapter 12, test corrections. Remember, this is a video, so you can stop it anytime you want to. So I'm just going to go through the problems. You can stop it, pause it, back up, email me with questions. All right, here we go. So chapter 12, test corrections. Number one. Okay. Remember, you got to do everything I say. Number one, which of the following is an equation whose graph is parallel to the line drawn on the graph at the right? All right, parallel means same slope. Okay, parallel means same slope. So let's find the slope of the line. All right, there we see 2 points. One point is -2 and 1. X goes in the bottom, Y goes in the top. The other point is 0, -3. X goes in the bottom, Y goes in the top. Okay, a negative times a negative is a positive. 1 plus 3 is 4. -2 minus 0 is -2. Positive divided by negative is a negative. So slope is -2, right? So -2 eliminates A because A has a -1/2, right? All right, let's look at some of the others. None of the others are in slope-intercept form, all right? So none of the others are in slope-intercept form. So we need to see if we can change it. Also, let's notice that the y-intercept, is -3, all right? So y-intercept is -3. So let's just look at D. D is 2x plus y equals 1. So if I subtract 2x from both sides, that gives me y equals -2x plus 1, okay? So this is the same slope, -2. It is not the same y-intercept, so it's parallel, so the answer is D, okay? All right, number 2. All right, number 2 says identify the equation whose graph has a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of -1. So in other words, M equals 3 and B equals -1, okay? So let's go through these. So obviously, only one in slope-intercept form is C, and C equals y is -x, so it's not C. So let's just go through those. A says 3x minus y equals 1. All right, so let's subtract 3x from both sides. That gives me -y equals -3x plus 1. And if we divide everything by -1, that gives me y equals positive 3x minus 1. So A is the answer, okay? Just got to change it to the proper form. All right, number 3. All right, number 3. With a certain express mail carrier, the price for overnight delivery of 1 pound package is $7.60. So that's really an ordered pair. 1 is $7.60. The same service for a 5 pound package is $15.80. So that is another ordered pair. So how much would it cost for an 8 pound function if it's linear? All right, so linear, let's find the slope. All right. So 1 goes on the bottom, 7.6 goes on the top, 5 goes on the bottom, 15.8 goes on the top, okay? 15.8 minus 7.6 is 8.2. 5 minus 1 is 4, okay? So if we divide by 4, then the slope is 2.05, okay? All right. And then we also need to find a y-intercept. We got our slope. Our slope is 2.05. Let's get caught up there from the top. This tiny board and this tiny screen. All right. Okay, so slope. So basically then, so y equals 2.05x plus b. So let's pick one out. Let's take the 1 and the 7.6. So 7.6 equals 2.05 times 1 plus b. So b is 7.6 minus 2.05, which is 5.55, okay? So basically for an 8-pound package in, the cost is 2.05 times 8 plus 5.55, all right? 2.05 times 8 is 16.4 plus 5.55 is going to be 21.95, $21.95 is the answer, okay? And I'll switch to a different color here. I'm rapidly running out of the markers that I have at home. All right, number 4. Which of the following is the equation of a slope-intercept form of a line that passes through the point 4 and 0 and has a slope of -3/4? Okay, so y equals mx plus b, so y is 0 equals -3/4 times x, which is 4 plus b. The 4's divide out, so 0 equals -3 plus b. So add 3 to both sides, so b equals 3. So my equation is y equals -3/4 x plus 3. Okay. All right, number 5. Which the following applies to the graph of y equals -x minus 10. Well, in front of the x is a negative, so m equals -1, and this is b. So so m equals -1, and the y-intercept is b. That's the y-intercept, which makes that answer B. Okay. All right, we skipped number 6. All right, number 7. They give us vector V is 4 and 5, and vector W is 1 and 6. And we want to find 3 times vector V plus 2 times vector W. So that's 3 times 4 and 5 plus 2 times 1 and 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0 is still 0. 12 plus 2 is 14. 15 plus 0 is 15. So the answer is 14 and 15. What did I do wrong there? Oh, I'm sorry. This was 6. Okay, sorry, that's 6. So this is 6. So this is 12. So 12 plus 15 is 27. All right, sorry about that. Okay, number 8. All right, number 8. Given 4 points, 4 points A and B, and C and D, we want to find X if AB is parallel to CD. So we want to find the slope of ray AB and the slope of ray CD. All right, so point A is 1 and 4. That's 1 and 4. And point B is X and -6. Point C is 5 and 2. And point D is 3 and 6. Okay, so -6 minus 4 is -10 over X minus 1. And 2 minus 6 is -4 over 2, all right? And -4 divided by 2 is -2. So make sure you get all that written down. So if these lines are parallel, then that means this slope has to be the same as that. Okay. So we're going to take our -10 over X minus 1, and that has to equal -2. So if I multiply both sides by X minus 1, then that gives me -2X plus 2 equals -10. Subtract 2 from both sides gives me -2X equals -12. Divide by -2 gives me X equals +6, which is answer B. All right, number 9. Number 9 is another one of these vector problems. Except for number 9, we're only asking for vector V plus vector W, which is going to be 5 and 2 plus -3 and -2, which is going to be 5 minus 3 and 2 minus 2. 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. So the answer is 2 and 0. Answer B. All right, number 10. All right, a river has a current of 0.5 miles per hour, right? So we got a current of 0.5 miles per hour. That's like a vector. Vladimir can swim at a rate of 2 miles per hour, okay? So he can swim at a rate of 2 miles an hour, okay? And how does the current affect Vladimir's speed and direction as he swims across the river? In other words, what happens to him? Well, basically, this is my distance. This is resolving the vectors, resolution of vectors. So basically, this number right here is the square root of 2 squared plus 0.5 squared, which is going to be the square root of 4.25, which is approximately 2.06, which is answer C. I don't even need to do the angle, okay? To do the angle, I would do the inverse tangent of the rise over the run. So that's all I needed to get the answer, okay? The answer has to be C without going any further, okay? All right, number 11. Determine the coordinates, the midpoint of the line segment. So we have 3 points. So we're looking for the midpoint. In this case is x's divided by 2, y's divided by 2, and z's divided by 2. That all fit in there. Okay, so we have 0, -6, and 4. So that's 0, -6, and 4. And the other point is 2, 6, and 10, 2, 6, 10. So 0 plus 2 is 2 divided by 2. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0 divided by 2. 4 plus 10 is 14 divided by 2. So that's going to be 1, 0, 7. Okay, so 1, 0, 7. Answer A is the midpoint. All right, number 12. Determine an equation of the sphere is centered at 3, -4, and 2, and whose radius is 8. Okay, so that's x minus 3 squared plus y minus -4 squared plus z minus 2 squared equals 8 squared. All right, so that's just going to be x minus 3 squared. A negative times a negative is a positive, so that's y plus 4 squared. And then we have z minus 2 squared, and 8 squared is 64. So the answer is B. All right, 13. Determine which points are collinear. Well, basically, to be collinear, that means that the slope of segment AB has to equal the slope of segment BC. Okay, because if they're connected, if A is connected to B and B is connected to C, then to be on a line, they would have to have the same slope. So let's just do a couple of these. Let's do hey, I'm trying to remember what most of you guys put down who missed this. Okay, I think you put C. Let's look at C. All right, C has -2 and 1 and 6 and 7. So 6 and 7 goes over here too. And point C is -5 and 8. Okay, so 1 minus 7 is -6. -2 minus 6 is -8. 8 minus 7 is 1. Obviously, this is going to be 3/4 does not equal that. There's no way it's C, right? So let's go back and look at B. All right, for B, A is -1 and 1. So I got -1 and 1. And B is 5 and -2. So I have 5 and -2. I have 5 and -2. And C is -7 and 4. All right, so a negative times a negative is a positive. 1 plus 2 is 3. And -1 minus 5 is -8. And negative times negative is a positive. 4 plus 2 is 6. And -7 minus 5 is, I'm sorry, -7 minus 5. Check my math here. I go back, fix my error here. -1 minus 5 is -6. So that's going to be -1/2. And -5 minus 12 is -12, which is also going to be -1/2. So this slope is the same as that. So B is the correct answer. All right, 14 is the next one. All right, vertices of triangle BGF are given. Determine an equation of a line containing the altitude from G to basically BF. Okay, so essentially then we've got something roughly like point B is -3, and -1, so B is over here. G is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and -1. So this is nice. This is a horizontal segment. And point F is 3 and 3, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So F is up here. So my triangle looks something like this. But I want an altitude. So an altitude is going to be perpendicular. So I want the segment from point G that's perpendicular to this line, okay? So I need to find the slope of segment BF, the slope of segment BF, and then to be perpendicular, it has to be the opposite reciprocal, okay? All right, so make sure you got that written down. I'm going to erase it and put the rest of the problem. But remember, you can pause, do whatever you need to do, okay? All right, so we need to find the slope of segment BF, okay? All right, point B we said was -3, -1, and point F is 3 and 3. So -1 minus 3 is -4. -3 minus 3 is -6. That reduces to 2/3. So the opposite reciprocal of -2/3 is -3/2. So my slope has to be -3/2. And then obviously you already see equation number D says y equals -3/2 x. Okay, the slope in B is 3, the slope in C is 2, slope in A is 2/3, so it has to be, D has to be the answer. That's the only one with a proper slope. I don't even need to find the y-intercept, okay. All right, 15. Okay, coordinates of the vertices of triangle WXY are given. What is not an equation of a line containing a median of triangle WXY? Okay, all right, so again, probably wouldn't hurt to start with some sort of picture. And W is -6 and 1, so W is here. And X is 1 and 1, so 1 and 1 is here, so that's nice. We've got another horizontal segment, that makes it a little easier. And Y is -3 and 5, 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4, 5. So Y is up here. So my triangle looks something like that, okay? So it says, which of the following is not an equation containing a median? Well, there are 3 medians, okay? There are 3 medians to be calculated, okay? So let's just go through them, okay, and see which of those is not a median, okay? So y equals -x plus 2. Y equals -x plus 2. The y-intercept is 2. And -x means it's -1, so we're going down, 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 down. This line looks something like that. Well, that's not even possible, okay? No way that could be a median, all right? It's not going to happen. So that's enough right there to tell me that A cannot be the answer just from drawing the graph, okay? To be a median, it has to go through this point, from here to here, has to go from here to here, and same thing over here. So A has to be the answer. And the bonus, simplest way to do the bonus is just graph all the points, okay? And if you graph all the points, you would find C was the correct answer. All right, that's the test corrections. Get those done. Give me your questions later.